the heart of an African metropolis, where the sun painted the sky with hues of gold and crimson, there dwelled a man whose wealth rivaled the legends of ancient monarchs. This man was Malik, a figure whose name echoed through the bustling streets, whispered in tones of awe and envy. From his grand estate atop a verdant hill, Malik gazed down upon the city that he had come to rule, his domain extending as far as the eye could see. Towers of glass and steel stretched toward the heavens, monuments to his prosperity, while the clamor of commerce rose from the labyrinthine streets below. Yet, for all his riches and influence, there was a shadow that lingered in Malik's heart, a shadow cast by the absence of the one thing that wealth could not buy, an heir to inherit his legacy. Many years had passed since Malik first ascended to prominence, and though his wealth grew with each passing day, his joy remained incomplete. For despite his efforts, none of his 10 wives had borne him a child. Each of Malik's wives was a vision of beauty, their laughter like music to his ears, their embraces a balm to his weary soul. Yet, beneath the facade of marital bliss, there lay a deep well of sorrow, a sorrow born of unfulfilled longing. As the years wore on, whispers began to circulate among the city's inhabitants, rumors of dark and forbidden rituals performed within the confines of Malik's estate. Some spoke of arcane ceremonies conducted under the cloak of night, of offerings made to mysterious entities in exchange for fertility and fortune. Yet, despite the rumors that swirled around him like the desert sands, Malik remained silent, his countenance unreadable, his secrets locked away behind walls of stone and steel. It was said that Malik's obsession with fatherhood knew no bounds, that he would stop at nothing to secure an heir to his vast fortune. Some whispered that his wealth was built upon a foundation of blood and sacrifice, that he had made a pact with dark forces in exchange for the promise of progeny. But such tales were dismissed as the idle gossip of jealous rivals and envious onlookers, for who could fathom the depths of Malik's ambition, the lengths to which he would go to achieve his desires? And so the years slipped by in a blur of opulence and extravagance, while Malik's wives languished in the gilded cages of their discontent, their hearts heavy with the burden of unfulfilled dreams. Yet amid the whispers and the rumors, there was one voice that remained steadfast in its silence, one figure whose presence cast a pall over Malik's domain. The figure of Aisha, the first of Malik's wives, and the one whose womb had remained stubbornly barren despite his best efforts. Aisha was a woman of uncommon beauty, her ebony skin radiant beneath the African sun, her eyes like pools of obsidian that reflected the depths of her sorrow. She had been Malik's first wife, the one chosen to share his bed and his fortune, yet she had borne him no children, no heirs to carry on his name. For years Aisha had suffered in silence, her heart heavy with the weight of her failure, her body a battlefield upon which the hopes and dreams of her husband were dashed again and again. And though Malik had taken 9 other wives in the hope of siring an heir, it was Aisha's barrenness that haunted him most of all, a reminder of his own mortality, his own impotence in the face of fate. But Aisha was not the only one who suffered beneath Malik's roof, for each of his wives bore the burden of their own unspoken sorrows, their own secret fears and desires. There was Zara, the second wife, whose laughter masked a heart racked with guilt and shame, for she alone knew the truth of the sacrifices that Malik had made in his quest for an heir. And there was Fatima, the third wife, whose beauty was matched only by her ambition, her desire to bear Malik a son, consuming her from within like a flame that burned too bright. And there was Khadijah, the fourth wife, whose gentle spirit had been broken by years of disappointment and despair, her once bright eyes now dulled by the weight of her sorrow. And so it went, each of Malik's wives bearing their own burdens, their own secrets hidden beneath the facade of marital bliss. But amid the darkness that shrouded Malik's estate, there was one ray of light that pierced the gloom, the figure of Layla, the youngest and most radiant of Malik's wives. Layla was a vision of beauty, her golden hair cascading like a waterfall of sunlight down her slender shoulders, her laughter like the tinkling of bells on a summer breeze. She had come to Malik's estate as a bride barely out of girlhood, her heart full of dreams. But as the years passed and her womb remained empty, Layla's dreams turned to dust, her laughter fading like a distant memory, her beauty a mask that hid the pain that gnawed at her soul. For Layla alone knew the truth of Malik's desperation, the truth of the dark and forbidden rituals that he had performed in his quest for an heir. She had seen the blood and she had borne witness to the horrors that lay hidden within the depths of his estate. Yet, despite the darkness that surrounded her, Layla clung to a sliver of hope, a hope born of love and longing, a hope that one day she would escape the prison of Malik's embrace and find freedom in the arms of another. And so it was that Layla's heart became a battleground upon which the forces of light and darkness waged, and the fear that consumed her like a flame. But amid the turmoil of her heart, there was one thing of which Layla was certain, that she would do whatever it took to protect the innocent life that grew within her womb, to shield her unborn child from the horrors that awaited it in the world outside. For though Malik's estate was a fortress of stone and steel, it was also a prison from which there could be no escape, and so it was that Layla made a vow to herself and to her unborn child, a vow to defy the darkness that threatened to consume them both, and to carve out a future for herself and her child, no matter the cost. For she knew that within the depths of Malik's estate, amid the whispers and the rumors, there lay a secret that could shatter the fragile peace of. But she also knew that within her own heart, there lay a strength that could withstand any trial, a strength born of love and forged in the fires of adversity, a strength that would carry her through the darkest of nights and into the light of a new dawn. I just wanted to express my heartfelt thanks for being part of our YouTube community. Your support, whether through likes, comments, shares, or subscriptions, means everything to us. Each interaction motivates us to keep creating content that resonates with